Hey guys, it's Etch here, and we're back today with Howling Woods Wolf Sanctuary. And as you can see, we have a very different foliage landscape here, and I also did some stuff off camera. I basically redid all the foliage and whatnot, and what I'm working on now is actually the creek, which I believe I've developed a lot more since the last time we recorded, which was a while ago, I know. And that's mostly because of the time of year, and I've been lacking a bit of inspiration. Technically, I recorded all this, the video for this a while ago, but I haven't recorded the voiceover until just now. Again, been busy, lacking inspiration, not sure what to say, that kind of thing. But, I feel like I need to get done eventually, so I am. And I think that the creek came along real nicely. Hopefully that will work out. I've recorded part of the video for episode 5 already, so you might notice that I might talk about something that hasn't happened yet, but namely that I'm actually doing a lot of stuff off camera and then I'm jumping back on. So this is, again, the creek, and I feel like, I don't know how I feel about the reeds, because there's a lot of them, and this is technically an alpine environment, but I'm thinking like the lower elevation, like this area, is less alpine and more deciduous alpine mix. And then the higher elevations, which we'll get to in episode 5, are more alpine and, what do you call it? Coniferous environments. So, that's that. I'm working on this little path here. I figured this is kind of a spot where, like, people, where it's just, where they let it get a little overgrown, because it looks nice. I mean, they still trim it back a little bit, but they let it get a little overgrown, and, I think people are free to walk a little bit in the little path area. Like, you have these gaps between the foliage. They're free to walk around a little bit around there, go, through to the creek, but they're not allowed to cross the creek or anything. And I figure actually now I'm probably gonna add some like dirt paths in between all the foliage. I didn't think to add that. So here we're starting on the quarantine exhibit of sorts. I don't know what else to call it, but it's kind of like a quarantine exhibit. It's mostly where the younger wolves, who are the newer wolves they're being introduced, they don't want to just pop them into the pack because that would cause fights most likely. So they place wolves in this exhibit, and then there will be another exhibit that is adjoined to it, and there will be a tiny little area where they can see each other. Whereas most of it will just be logs like this, what I'm building here. Most of the like solid opaque areas are logs. It's like a log fencing, and I really like how it turned out. Also, I forgot to credit this a while ago, but I've actually inspired to do this log fencing by Geekism in Ninu Kanata, I think it is. I didn't use it a lot, but he did use this log fencing like near the entrance because he was trying to cover it up, and I thought it was brilliant, and I loved it. So I kind of taken the idea and ran with it. You see me doing a lot of copy and pasting here because there's a lot of logs. Eventually this log fence will go all the way around the entire perimeter of the zoo. I can't remember if I did that in this episode or the next, but but right here we're just creating that little gap, or a little area for the quarantine wolf, so you can see it kind of curves in, but later it'll be going through the entire exhibit. We get to really big landscaping in the next episode. I figure this area just kind of flat, whether it's been flattened because of construction, or if it's been flattened naturally, or if it was a giant meadow or something, I'm not quite sure. But somehow it's flat. So that's what that is. And I think we'll see the chain link fence coming up. I'm not entirely sure though. Here's me trying to get that to join right without looking entirely odd or having a gap there. Let's see if we can get through the chain link fence. Yep, I think that's what I'm about to do now. Oh wait, nope, I'm adding the null barrier. Oops. Regardless, I like how where the gap is, where you can actually see what's going on between where like wolves from different packs can see what's going on inside. I really liked how that turned out. Worth noting, I wrote a big brainstorm list. I'm not going to read all of it to you, but one thing I thought of is with the release of the Arctic, was it the Arctic pack or the Arctic DLC, which I have bought, there is the, oh wait, this is the entrance to the exhibit of sorts. But I thought that I would have several different packs. I was thinking 2 Timberwolf packs, one that was like the big main large pack with like 6 to 12 wolves, that kind of thing. And they're all like from various sources, and there may or may not be a second one with like 2 to 5 wolves. That's more like younger wolves that may potentially be dispersal wolves, although I do not know if wolves in captivity exhibit behavior of dispersing. I know that I don't really know, but and then also lastly there would be a third pack that would be full of Arctic wolves, and that would be a really small one, 2 to 3 wolves. They're mostly rescues and they're all required from the same place at the same time. Don't quite know where that's come from yet, but we're thinking maybe an exotic pet breeder that was busted or something. And so that we could see how that goes, and that would be like a separate area from the other Arctic wolves or the other wolves. So that's that. I'm also thinking of having a camping area. I may or may not have mentioned that before, and some like vista points where like the path can go over, like really pretty points. Actually, I'm building one in episode 5, where like, and the one in episode 5 has a waterfall and it's really pretty, but it's not done yet. And there's me just building the keeper hut in the video, and I just realized I ran out of footage, so I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!